Hi everyone, Julia's here. I'm glad to see my channel Jurgaz of Russian, and the theme in today's video will be tattoo Celtic cross. So let's begin. The Celtic cross is one of the brightest and most sought-after representatives of the Celtic body painting. It's a cross enclosed in a circle. The origin of the Celtic cross is a question to which there is no definite answer yet. The fame and popularity of the Celtic cross was made with the first Christians. Whether there is not complete certainty that the cross arrived with the first missionaries to the Celts. And in connection with this, Celtologists consider four versions of the origin of the Celtic cross.
Celtologists are arguing and putting forward various versions, none of which has an ambiguous 100% proof. However, we cannot dispute the fact, including by historians, that the cross in a circle is a well-known Indo-European symbol that appeared in Europe in the Neolithic era, along with the usual cross and swastika. Traditionally, it's considered that among the ancient peoples it was a solar symbol. The first version among the pagan Celts, this symbol was of great importance and may even have been a kind of creed or some other druid symbol that expressed a certain god or idea. Christian missionaries think that this symbol fits well into their religion, picked up the most magnificent symbol for the Celts, giving it their own interpretation. Thus, they allowed the pagans not to break their foundations and explain to them their own symbol from their own point of view. The second version, the cross in a circle, was known to the Celts, but didn't play any ritual significance for their faith. It was just a well-known symbol that successfully fit into the Christian graphics, and the missionaries popularized it as their own sign. The third version of the origin of the Celtic cross says that before the Christians in Ireland there was no cross in the circle at all. This version is set forth in the legend of Saint Patrick, who allegedly, having discovered a pagan temple where a circle was depicted on a stone, symbolizing the moon or the sun, he drew a cross inside the circle, thereby creating a new sign that unites his philosophy and ancient faith. Thus, Saint Patrick made it clear that the solar symbolism is the symbolism of Christ, and although the cross in a circle was known in Europe, including Ireland, long before Saint Patrick, this version successfully took root among the people. The Celtic cross is even called the Saint Patrick's cross.
For those who want to get acquainted with the official image that the Saint Patrick, I would recommend using my previous release. But if I express my own opinion that has developed over the study and search a huge amount of information, I can say this. St. Patrick's Day is a holiday called Ireland itself, which was not previously celebrated, but it all began when George Washington established it in its current form with masquerades and drinking parties to encourage the Irish soldiers to his continental army. But if you dig deeper, you can see the connection with barley, which was used in Egyptian brewing, and even with Egyptian god Osiris, who was known as a green man. And that we see what color the public dresses in this ritual celebrated. Green, that's right. And if you make out the word Patrick is the root of the word pater from Latin father, symbolism and mythology are very mixed up. And for a person who don't interested, all this is nothing but delirium of madmen. But if you start digging, even if you don't assemble complete puzzle, the fragments will already be clearer. This is question that Alice many don't think what kind of holiday is on the nose, where roots come from, and whether its celebration is appropriate at all. This is my subjective opinion. I will listen to you in the comments with pleasure. And by the way, subscribe to my channel, mark the bell in order not to miss new release, and push the button if you like this video. Move on.
The fourth version, very common among Celtologists, raises the Celtic cross to the Coptic cross and throw it to the Ankh, the Egyptian cross. This version looks quite plausible if you study the graphic outlines of these crosses, and the fact of the appearance of the Coptic cross before the Christianization of the Celtic cross is historically confirmed. According to this version, the cross in a circle was brought to Ireland by missionaries. The meaning of this symbol for the Celts in this version is not considered at all, but its presence before the advent of Christianity is not denied.
Summing up all this version, we can dwell on several indisputable facts. Firstly, the cross in a circle was known among Celts and other people long before the advent of Christians. And secondly, the Christian missionaries successfully used pagan symbolism to make the transition to another faith less painful. In principle, this approach is characteristic of Christianity, so Celtic Church choose this cross as its symbol and thus create such popularity and prevalence for it. Meaning, for Christians, this question is simple. The circle means eternity, the cross, sacrifice and love. But with pagan meaning, everything is complicated because they all invented by modern people, those worldview very far from the ancient paganism. These human vices within circle, and the cardinal points, and the elements, and four gods, and etc. Each of us can give absolutely any interpretation. I think what you specifically put into this image is still perceived as your beauty in your story. But however, I have not convinced by this. Listen to the historical interpretation.
Historians suggest that, being a solar symbol, the cross, like the sun itself, symbolizes fertility, abundance, protection, a symbol of the right path and spiritual growth, a symbol of life as such. Today, this solar symbol is increasingly perceived with negative connotation, since it neo-Nazis and skinheads use as emblems. But it makes sense to add the meaning of the Celtic cross tattoo not only from the individual meaning of the cross and circle, because the cross itself is woven from ornamental knots and ways that were perceived by the Celts as a person's life path, with all its problems, obstacles, and trials. Therefore, the lines are not straight, but winding, twisted into knots. And if this interpretation is not to your liking, then there is another version of the origin of this cross tattoo. It rejects pagan roots. It's believed that the sun in the Celtic cross is nothing but the light of faith. Such a cross says that faith in God illuminates the life of every person, and it shines so brightly that it overshadows everything else. Places of application. A person can make a tattoo on any part of the body. This is a matter of taste. Religious symbols are rarely placed on the legs, which is regarded by many religions as a sign of disrespect. The Celtic cross tattoo looks appropriate and harmonious on the back, between the shoulder blades, on the neck and arms. The cross is considered the strongest amulet. It gives people an understanding on their purpose in life and helps them choose the right path. Crosses look symbolic in the region of the heart, on the chest. They say that faith lives in the heart and does not require proof. Often, with the help of tattoos with crosses, people try to mask some defects on the skin. The most popular option is a tattoo on scars. For religious people, it's still worth asking yourself a few important questions. Is your faith strong enough to capture a reminder of it for life? Especially considering that official religions often against any tattoos. In addition, it's common for any person to revise and reevaluate their principles, including religious ones, and it often turns out that having become disillusioned with religion, a person decides to remove the tattoo. The Celtic cross tattoo is complex both in execution and in a symbolic sense. The tattoo artist must both draw well and understand the religious symbolism and the hidden meaning on the smallest details. Are you confident in the tattoo artist?
Well, I said so much, but he got a lot of stuff to talk about. See you in next thematic video.